Let us drift back in time to the edge of the ancient world. We are in Egypt, where the endless sands meet the dark, rhythmic waters of the Mediterranean Sea. It is night in Alexandria. The year is somewhere in the 3rd century BC. The sun, which had baked the white marble streets during the day, has long since dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a cooling, gentle darkness. A soft rain has begun to fall over the city. It is not a storm, barely even a shower. It is a mist, a delicate veil of water descending from the gray clouds, washing the dust from the palm trees and the stone statues. The city is asleep. The great markets are empty. The shouting of merchants, the rattle of chariot wheels, the noise of the day, all have vanished. Silence has reclaimed the streets. In the harbor, the only sign of life is the great sentinel of the sea, the Pharos Lighthouse. Rising over 100 meters into the night sky, a mountain of white stone. At its very peak, a massive fire burns, reflected by polished bronze mirrors. The light sweeps across the dark waves. 1, 2, 3, sweep. 1, 2, 3, sweep. Regular, unchanging, like the slow, steady breathing of a sleeping giant. Leaving the hypnotic light of the Pharos behind, we drift inland, floating like a ghost through the Bruchion quarter. This is the royal district. Here the air smells different. It smells of wet jasmine, damp earth, and the salty tang of the sea breeze mixing with the scent of old stone. The streets here are wide and lined with colonnades. We approach a vast complex of buildings, hidden behind high walls. This is not a palace for kings, but a palace for the mind. This is the Museon, the temple of the muses. It is not just one building, it is a sanctuary. We pass through an archway into a sprawling garden. The rain patters softly against the broad leaves of the exotic plants collected from the far reaches of Africa. There are walkways here, paved with smooth, cool stone, known as the peripatos. During the day, philosophers walk here, debating the nature of the soul. But now, at night, the walkways are empty. Only the shadows of the palm trees stretch across the wet pavement. The only sound is the water trickling in the marble fountains. Trickle, splash, trickle, splash. A sound that has echoed here for decades, never changing, always soothing. We stand before the massive double doors of the great library. They are made of heavy Lebanese cedar wood, darkened by oil and time. We push them open, effortless and silent, and step inside. The moment we cross the threshold, the world changes. The sound of the wind disappears, the air becomes still, and the smell, that magnificent, intoxicating smell, fills your lungs. It is the scent of thousands of years of thought, the sweet, resinous aroma of cedar wood shelves, the dry, grassy scent of aging papyrus, the sharp, metallic tang of dried ink, and the faint, comforting smell of beeswax candles. It is a warm, dry smell that wraps around you like a heavy blanket. The main hall is cavernous. It is not a room of books as we know them today. There are no bound volumes standing upright. This is a sea of scrolls. Looking up, the walls are lined with wooden compartments, like a honeycomb, stretching from the marble floor all the way up to the high, shadowed ceiling. These compartments are called armaria, and inside each one, resting horizontally, are the scrolls, tens of thousands of them, sleeping in their wooden nests. Let us look closer at the shelves. The scrolls are not thrown in carelessly. There is a profound order here. Each scroll is wrapped in a protective leather case to keep them warm and dry. Hanging from the end of each scroll is a small tag, a syllabus. Made of parchment or ivory, these tiny tags dangle in the still air. Written on them in delicate Greek letters are the titles and the names of the authors: Homer, Aristotle, Hippocrates. If a draft were to blow through this hall, though the walls are too thick to allow it, these thousands of tags would sway gently like leaves on a tree. Think of the numbers: 500,000 scrolls, 500,000 handwritten masterpieces, mathematics from Babylon, astronomy from Persia, poetry from Athens, all gathering dust, peacefully side by side, enemies in life, neighbors on the shelf. Here, in the dark, they are all equal, they are all silent. Every single one of these scrolls has a history that begins in the mud. Let your mind drift to the banks of the Nile River. Imagine the tall, green reeds of the papyrus plant swaying in the hot Egyptian sun. The harvesters cut the long stalks, slowly, methodically. They peel away the green outer wind to reveal the white sponge-like pith inside. This pith is sliced into very thin, translucent strips. Imagine the process, so slow, so repetitive. The strips are laid out on a flat stone, side by side. Then another layer is laid on top, crossing them at a right angle. They are moistened with the muddy waters of the Nile, and then they are pressed. Heavy stones are placed upon them, day after day. Under the weight of the plant's natural sticky sap, the bonds bond the strips together. They dry under the sun, turning from white to a warm golden beige. Finally, a smooth stone is rubbed over the surface, polishing it until it shines like silk. This is the canvas of the ancient world, textured, organic, and imperfect. When you unroll a scroll in this library, you can still feel the grid pattern of the plant fibers under your fingertips. You are touching the Nile itself. The library is sleeping, but it is not empty. There are shadows moving between the columns. These are the scholars, the residents of the museum. They live here, they eat here, they breathe here. They are men who have forgotten the outside world. In a small alcove, lit by a single flickering oil lamp, sits a figure. Perhaps it is Euclid, the father of geometry. He is old now. His beard is long and white. He sits motionless, staring at a diagram he has drawn in a tray of sand on his desk. A perfect circle. He does not move. He does not speak. He is contemplating the perfection of the shape. The dust motes dance in the light of his lamp, swirling slowly around his head.